35 on the front, 20 on the back, and let's go. So like most of my other videos, streams, and such, like the BMW, oh no, on the Audi in particular. This is very similar to that, except much looser seals and stuff. So this is going to be a lot easier to actually do. And we're using 36-inch rolls. We're cutting them in half. And then we're going to use a 36-inch roll on the back window. JR asks what film I'm using. We are using Avery Dennison again. Nothing special about that, but 35% on the front. That's something I don't think I've done yet. Maybe. On the streams anyways. So let's go ahead and chop this down. So like I've said before, you're gonna notice a lot of similarities from car to car, which is a good thing. We don't take apart any door panels. Not usually anyways. Actually, it's been a long time since they've taken anything apart. So cut a bottom, cut a side, shift it over, usually about a 1/4 inch. And then take a little blade, go ahead, hack off the other side. Hopefully the stream looks good. Jaybird, what up? Panda asks, do I prefer double cutting? What do I think of it? Oh, there goes our trash bag already. So I don't usually cover panels up too much. I have something to hold this better, but I don't have it with me. So I've just been tucking them into the sides, but if you open them fast, it's gonna fall off. So double cutting, I like it. I think it's a necessity if you're tinning or if you're hand cutting. It's one of the few things that you can really do to speed yourself up, like a bunch. So rather than spending, you know, time on each individual window, I go on the passenger side and I'm always cutting both out at the same time. Now, the part about that really sucks is if you fuck one of them up, you typically fuck both of them up. So it is a little bit weird because, you know, 1.5 mil film. Now you're talking about cutting 3 mils worth of film at one time. So the feel of it's a little bit different. I definitely had my fair share of learning curve for it. Jaybird says the stream's good. Thanks, man. My text-to-speech. Oh yeah, I do have text-to-speech enabled. Just want to say that, so if you guys are asking questions, I can hear them. Jaybird, I think it's funny because it doesn't say Jaybird, it says JBIRD. Every time it calls out your name. So that's always a little funny to me. Oh yeah, and I have to take a second to thank the sponsors now. I have two of them outside my own. So of course we have my own glass aid, which is this white stuff on the back. That's a line that we can cut on, 10 mil thick. But I don't like talking about it too much. We have Tint Wiz, which is the CRM suite for window tinters. So scheduling, booking, keeping up with clients, that type of stuff. Super helpful app. It's available on iPad or iOS, and also they have a web app too if you don't have an iPhone, but it's super handy. Hey, we gotta chop this roll open. And then last but not least, we have a brand new sponsor, which is awesome. So we have Tint Wiz, or I mean, sorry, Tint Depot. I already said Tint Wiz. So we have Tint Depot now on the stream, which is fantastic. Awesome company. Been talking to those guys for a little while now. They have awesome options for training film on their site, and they also have a couple of they have a couple mid grades and a couple premium lines too that you guys can check out. But also what I'm super excited about is professional tool recommendations. So everything that I use, I'm going to be adding links in video descriptions. So they already have descriptions on their websites and stuff like that. So if you see something I use, I'll often link it over to there. So very much appreciative that they are helping support the channel and the streams and making this all possible. So we'll get back to some questions in just a sec. See, when you have a 36-inch roll, it'll cover most of the doors and you have a little bit of extra at the top. Most doors. Paul Rhodes, thank you for the kind words. Saying you used to watch me a long time ago. Man, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's always one of those like up and down type of things. Start posting, stop posting. It's been quite the road trying to figure out how to support myself on this too, along with, you know, just getting the work done. So, I'm glad you like the videos. Heard a lot of nice things from a lot of people. We recently crossed over 50,000 subs too, which is amazing. So thank y'all for that. Pull this down. And then we're gonna wait 1 second. Let me just check. All right, what's going on? Jaybird says, thank God it's Friday. I had a slower week this week so far. Ever heard of MotorShield Pro? I have seen them on Amazon, but I've never tried them. I've had people ask me about it. Never knew that about remote power for the windows. Thanks for the tip of the day. Yeah, if you hold the button over there, it's good because it'll leave it on much longer. So somehow, like, it's easy to just go and push the button. But yeah, if you just sit there and hold it for about 5 seconds, it'll give you like 3 beeps. Welcome, sir, from Romania. We got people from all over the place. The Sea Rain says, why is this satisfying to watch? I don't know. I'm glad. Llama says, hello from Poland. I hope that's got your name right. Welcome. Yeah, we got people from all over the place. It's crazy how global this whole thing is, too. It's something that I always kind of forget. It's like the stuff that's available here sometimes isn't available over there, overseas, from where I'm at. But we got people from all over the place. It's probably easy for some of you guys to watch it right now because we're in the middle of the workday right now. I did a full ram this morning, a couple sets of doors, and then this thing walked in, or it was scheduled, but you know, came in at like the perfect time. There's a nice lull in the day afterwards, so we can spend a little bit of time on this one. So we have both sets of doors cut out, double cut. So one thing I've been doing lately is shrinking them both together. No, this is a glass shop, so they're doing chip repairs, windshields, that type of stuff. So we're gonna snap shrink these together, which is a bit of a slower process together. And sometimes, I don't know, it works out fine, but it doesn't seem as smooth. San Jose in the house. Welcome. I don't even know how many people there are. That's something I always have to find out after the stream, usually a few days later unless I catch it in the middle. Junior Coachella in the house. Alright, so just snapping these. There's not much that needs to be done, which is nice. Like, this is probably one of the easiest cars to do out there right now. When they made the couple of changes to these things, I was super happy. They just made them easier. And then we can separate these and carry them over to the other side. The idea is to maximize efficiencies, minimize walking from one side to the next, so we can, this is the beautiful thing about double cutting. 26 right now, cool. It's good to know. But it's been picking up to anywhere between 70, like 40 to 50 on average, I think. But I've seen peaks anywhere from 70 to like 80, 88. Somebody said they'll get me more views for free tape. Yeah, we need genuine viewers though. Oh, what was another one? There was another good question mixed in there. Oh, hey Daniel, welcome. What's your Instagram? Oh yeah, Eugene asked what my Instagram is. Tint stuff, same thing. You can find me on Instagram. I don't post there a whole lot. It's not something I've put a lot of effort into, but occasionally, like I've been posting live stream thumbnails and stuff like that every once in a while. So, oh yeah, I need my scrubber. Where's my scrubber? I wanted to get some back window tools. 34 people. That's awesome. Did somebody just super chat? Somebody just super chat? Hang on. I gotta look at this. Alright, so we're gonna put some squeaky monkey on the scrubber. We're gonna scrub some of these windows down. We do have a sticker on one of these windows. I think it's this one here. It might be the other side though. But I got a razor blade ready for it. Let me put my keys back. Pulling in the viewers. That's awesome. All right, let me see. Let me just check really quick. I gotta always check for super chat. Daniel Reyna with a super chat, $10. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. No message attached to it, really? You comment a lot anyways, which I appreciate. Hello from Cats. Oh, I'll just read your first message. Oh, you're talking Filipino, man. I have a hard time pronouncing it. But you say hello from Cat's Auto Stamp from Central California. Thank you for the super chat. Always much appreciated. We did go on our date night, by the way. So I have a picture from that I have to post. Because we had a community-supported date night for me and the wife from doing these live streams, which is super cool. So thanks, you guys. We got sushi. We love sushi. Sushi's fantastic. Ooh, we don't want that. We don't want to crush it. I thought we were just below. There we go. Okay, so pretty straightforward here. Just like you saw on the Ram. Oh yeah, the Ram was another one. But this is a little bit more of a stubby window compared to something like the Ram. Just gonna scrub it down. Mainly the top portion of it, because this stuff has a little bit of a grit. And I don't like pushing that into the seals or dragging it along there. So the main parts, just scrub those down, helps it slide better, keeps it a little cleaner. Somebody asked about the towel. Steve asked if the towel that I have back there, if that's the same one sold on here. Yes it is actually. So the only way that I could have actual merch linked in the channel, other than trying to put it in the description, which I have enough stuff there, was to go through Teespring. Teespring is doing a pretty good job. So, plus it helps the efforts with the channel too. So if you guys are looking for like a dash towel or something like that with like a Tint Stuff logo to help support it, those are usually right below the videos in like an annoying little pop-up ad, but it's at least mine. They don't let you They don't let you do a custom store or anything. It's like I've looked and looked. I've tried to put my own store there, the certified tinter one with like glass aid and stuff, because I'd rather have it be relevant products. But they did have a towel that you could screen print, and tried it out, and it turns out to be okay. So that's good. And you can also take it to a beach because it's technically a beach towel. So, but I got one with a Tint Wiz logo because they are a sponsor, and they sponsored me to go out to the competition, which was super nice. I wanted to use it in there, but I didn't make it. I didn't make it to the finals because I'm a hack. So, I don't know if I ever really point this out, but the key to like tucking in your window film is just keep this edge as flat as possible, and then fold your edge a little bit, and then it'll go right in. Not all the time that easy, but like, you know, the tighter the seal, the harder it's gonna be. But the real key, like, see how it's starting to bunch up there? I don't want that. You wanna create like a little air pocket, trail it away, and then keep it flat, and then tuck it in. If you have flat sides, you'll have a much easier time trying to tuck in your film. Did somebody else super chat? I don't know. I heard something super chat, so we're gonna take a look-see real quick. We're gonna stop because we gotta stop for super chats if there are. Mark Black with a $20 super chat without a message. Thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you, sir. We have an almost similar name. Mark Black, Matt Blackmer. MB, same initials. Spirit animals? I don't know. But thank you. I much appreciate the super chat. That's super cool. And if you guys see in the top right, when you guys super chat, your names are up there for a while, so that's what that's all about. I was trying to think of another super chat goal, and I had to just get rid of it because we did the wifey date night, which, I mean, yeah, we could do another one of those. Mark Black, he has a message. He posted a message. What did he say? I heard it. I heard most of it, but I was talking too at the same time. Mark Black says, awesome content, been making some decent side money thanks to your video, plus tinting has become a pretty cool hobby. Oh, that's awesome to hear. That's the whole idea. Like, you can be as flexible with window tinting as you want. You can make side money, you can do it as your full-time career, you know, just do it on your own. If you're doing it on your own, I mean, there's a lot of pain in learning it just for your own, but like friends, family, that type of stuff, side money with it, like, yeah, it's a really good profitable field, low cost on your film, good margins, and hard to find good tinters. So that's awesome to hear. I appreciate the super chat for all of that. Now, can I collect a royalty off of everything too? I'm kidding. I mean, that's one of the things that I'm super proud of for this whole field and channel and stuff like that. There's a lot of, you know, auto jobs that are really suffering, and window tint doesn't seem to be hardly affected at all. So that's really, really cool. Of course, we have our busy seasons or slow seasons and everything like that, but it's going to be very, very relevant for quite a while. All right, so swipe these down. Swipe that down. The bag has successfully kept most of this dry, which is awesome. That's what I want. I don't want, like, because if this gets wet, then it just leaves this big, like, trail here. And it's colder, so it takes a while for it to dry out. I mean, we have an air gun over there that was going to try and blast it out too, but just the little things to try and smooth things along and put that little bit of extra care into it. Most of the soft touch paint panels and stuff like that. Those will just wipe dry really fast. But you know, it always looks better to cover stuff up, especially on a worldwide stream. So let's throw these back there, so scrubber back there. Move on to the next one. I got this handy little stool. I don't know if I ever talked about it. It's not very comfy, but it's like just collapses. So this is a stepping stool, like the big Rhino folding stool. I don't know. I like it. I like that it folds up. Because I like the roller ones better, but I don't like carrying around a roller stool with me. Oh no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We need a speech chat. I think I just quit my speech app. Sorry. My bad, if that's the case. What kind of gasket stick is that? All right, let me just scroll back through a little bit, making sure I'm not missing anything. Who asked that? Robin asked, what kind of gasket stick is this? So this is the shank. A lot of tool sites sell it, but what's cool is Tint Depot actually sells this exact one. So if you want to get it, it's up on Tint Depot. I've been using these for quite a while now. I'll always tell this story. When I first saw this, I laughed because it actually comes out of a palette knife set. It's nothing special. But it was introduced into the window tint industry probably about, what was it? I don't know. One of my competition videos. That's when it was introduced, not by me, but they brought like 4 or 5 of them, different ones, asking people what their opinions were. And then I kind of laughed at it and I didn't want to try it or anything like that. And then sure enough now, somebody else reintroduced me into it. I finally tried it and I've been using it ever since. They're super handy. They just pull back the seal a little bit extra for tucking the film in. I was using like a triangle card, like an Easy Reach or a Tri-Edge or something like that, but it really does, with this angle, it frees up just a little bit more space. So I'm a big fan. And it's yellow like my squeegee right now, which is kind of funny too. And then the Tri-Edge, people were pointing that out the other day. So I got gator blades and yellow Tri-Edge. I don't like try to match everything to yellow or anything. It's just the weird coincidence of all the tools I was using at the time. I'm gonna squeegee this off one more time. Somebody get the phone. I was listening back to the stream too, and I heard the phone ringing. It was weird because it sounded like it was right here. Daniel Reyna, you need to start your YouTube channel. I know you've been talking about it for a little bit. You just gotta start shooting. Just start putting it up. It'll get easier as it goes. I don't know, if anybody's looking to start a YouTube channel, just start. That's my best advice for that. I've been a big over planner of everything, and that keeps me from actually doing stuff. And then before you know it, it's like another year. So just throwing that out there. Not saying anybody's necessarily procrastinating, but that's always been a problem with me with certain things. You get so focused on all the things that you can do. You just gotta jump in. Daniel Arena says, you don't have to have the master. How many years? Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, so I actually started making YouTube videos when I was like 3 years into tinting. There's still a lot of things that I would have done different. There's a lot of things that I would have done differently. I mean, I do differently now, but I think every channel starts out that way too. If you go back on so many channels that started back when they did, they look so different now because you just grow over time. So Daniel says he's an over planner too. Yeah, I think a lot of people can be. Like, there's so many things that you can do. that it can be overwhelming to the point that, like, you know, you want a logo, you want cool transitions, you gotta learn editing, there's so many cameras to pick from, and then everything starts to change after, you know, 6 months or whatever. New things come out and new techniques and new tools. Just go for it. Ooh. Who asked that? TPN asked, have I ever tinted 5/5 or anything similar? So I have done, actually today, I did another Ram this morning, and we did 5 over the factory on that one, on the back, and then we did 5 over the factory, and then we did 5 on the front, and that was really, really dark. But I really don't tint much darker than that. I don't like to put tint over tint, and most of the time, when you tell a customer that it voids the warranty on the film that you're installing, it's expensive enough to where they're like, oh, okay, never mind. So we're gonna wipe this off. Okay, somebody asked, who asked that? Eduardo, oh no, not Eduardo. Matthew asked about a couple, he had his windows tinted, they got some bubbles. If it was done by a good tint shop, you should have no problem since it's fresh. You're gonna notice, like, kind of like this right now. You see all these little bubbles and stuff like that? This is on the outside, of course, but it all kind of gathers together, condenses, and then evaporates out of the glass. So it'll take a little bit to dry out, especially now, you know, with colder weather, at least here in Michigan, depends on the state. So usually up to a week at the longest, I'd say. But if you have like white specks and stuff like that, then that's not gonna go away. The white specks never go away. That would be dirt. But if it's just like little bubbles, or what they should be called is little water pools, they should be like the same color or very similar to the color of the tint. But if they're like bright white, then you got a problem. So I hope not. I hope it's okay. Who was it? Maddie asked, how is that yellow squeegee? So that is the Fusion Flat Out. It's really good. I like it. Still been using it. I don't really want to go back to the Blue Max, and I don't think I will. I think I found my go-to squeegee for now, at least. It's starting to wear down a little bit, but it's also like my main squeegee. So over time, they all will start to like nick or whatever. Who asked that? I just tucked this. Jaybird asked if I taped this or I tucked it. I just tucked it. I wanted to bring that tape with, I just keep forgetting it at home. So, and I haven't tried it on fabrics either. So there's like this, if you go on Amazon and search like nano tape, there's like this washable, reusable sticky strip, basically, that you can use for door panels and whatnot, but it's for a variety of other things. And I've been trying it out. Basically put a strip here, put the plastic on, and then slap like a plastic bag or something on it. So it's been good. I don't know. I like it. It's quick, it's easy. You just have to wash the strip back off before you use it again. So that's the only annoyance of it, but I don't know. I haven't much liked any of the door cover options that are out there, honestly. At least for like repetitive work. So that's always a thing. Peel this halfway. Spray it down. We can bring this in. Maddie asked, what kind of squeegee do I recommend? A good in between, I guess. That's kind of the tricky part. Just get a few of them. Blue Maxes are good. The Orange Crush, people like those by Fusion. And then also, I like Flat Out, and there's a bunch of other ones too. So the softer ones, typically people use for more cleaning and I guess back windows. But I'll use this Flat Out. It says medium hard 6. So I use this on pretty much everything. Alright, squeegee this guy out. We're a little cold today too. I have a little bit more soap, so we let these sit for just a second before we roll them up. TPN says, I had my truck tinted about 5 months ago. 5% all the way around with a brow, and they seriously suck. So many little lint spots. I paid $180. It looks okay from 5 feet away. Oh, that sucks, man. I'm sorry. I mean, a good shop would redo something like that. $180 for a full truck. I don't know where you are, but it's not like, that's definitely on the cheaper side around here, I'll say that. So I know that's not too bad in like warmer states and whatnot, so I gotta always remember that, but we'd be upwards of like $250. So that sucks when you get a bad tint job. I always recommend just try and check out reviews and look for people that are posting a lot about their work, but not everybody has good places right around them, so. But I don't know, a good shop should take care of the work. So if you're not happy with it, they should redo it. And it's always what I do for people, and you know, I'm not perfect, so I have to redo work here and there every once in a while if something sneaks by, or you know, it's just one of those days. But all right, what do we got now? What pressure do you use in your tank? I just fill it up to the max, which is typically about 80 or 90 before the relief valve goes off. Oh, look at that. It's so dry. That's nice. I like that. All this, I don't have to wipe it down. Look at how dry that paneling is. Don't have to worry about staining or anything like that. You shouldn't have to with like a baby shampoo or whatever, which is what I'm using now, but just little things like that. It's handy. Pick that up. There we go. Just open that without tearing that away. We're coming in the final stretch, last door, and then we'll hop on over to the back window. What do we got? How dark? J Auto asks, how dark would you put on the back windows of an SUV with privacy glass? I want to get the front doors at 35, but I just want to block the UV rays and heat. How dark would you put on the back windows of an SUV? That's, I mean, they're already 20. So, I mean, typically they're 20. Most domestic American vehicles are about 20%. A little darker, a little lighter, depends on the truck or SUV. Most people, if they want to go darker, end up putting like 35 or 20. More often than not, I'm putting like 20 over 20, and that'll give you like a limo look on the back. And on the front, you said you just want to go for like UV and heat rejection. So like you can go as light as 70 and it's not going to look tinted whatsoever. Like 70 or 80. I always like 35 on the front. It's a real common shade around here. Most people either go with 35 or 20. I know in Florida it's a little different. You got a lot of shops doing, or legal limits in Florida are 30 and 15. So it can vary a little from state to state too. Plus around the world, I have no idea. Dino Reyna says the Blue Max can wear out faster and start to scratch the tint. That is absolutely true. I've experienced it. You can nick it pretty quickly. And then, yeah, like this, like a softer rubbery squeegee doesn't seem to leave scratches near as often, but with a Blue Max, it's like, it wasn't even necessarily always the Blue Max, but I always seem to like get like an obscure scratch here or there, like real faint in the tint. And when you have a scratch in your film, it's very, very noticeable, and there's nothing you can do about it but redo the window. Ooh, somebody asked, what is your name? Let me just check quick. Let's scroll down. Ace6. He says he's having trouble tucking the film here. And that on front doors is going to be the most difficult. So let me focus on this, or what your question, because we're right at the perfect time to go over what I do for the front. Because the back is by and large easier as long as the seal's not too tight. So I will tuck the back and then worry about the front. But I fold the tint a little bit. And then, like I said, with the passenger door over there, try and make sure everything's even, like flat against the window before you go to slide it in. I've seen a lot of people fight and fight and fight. And whenever you're fighting with your film, that's like, no matter how many times you cleaned it, you're gonna drag shit back into it. So let's get started here. So we're gonna leave this side off the glass, and we're gonna start rolling on the driver's side. Now, the part that I really want flat, like I can hold this with one hand really, I want this part here to be flat against the glass, because if it's got a ripple, it's gonna start rippling more and basically bunch up, and it's gonna do all sorts of funny things. So now we start getting it on the glass, and this starts, rolling itself onto the window. So we can either do a couple things. We can create a little bit of like an air pocket here, or you just you gotta kind of finesse it away, because we want this edge flat against the glass. So you fold it and then make a little fold here with the film, and I'm gonna push all this together. See how that curled just a little bit? We wanna make sure it's laid back down, and then just gently glide it into the sides. And then once we do that, we check both sides. Make sure our top edge is close, and then that's pretty much it for the first half. And then the second half can be just as difficult, so we'll go over that too as we get to it. But your window can shift around, so you want to hold the film. This isn't a whole front door tutorial here, but some little things to watch out for. Now, something to keep in mind on this car is that these seals are a little bit looser than most. So I had a pretty easy time, but if you go to my Audi live stream, the Audi A4, those are much tighter, and I did the exact same thing. So check that out too. So now we're gonna roll this back up. Now my windows are up, so I can actually turn off the car, wherever that button, where's that button? There we go. So the car's off, that's nice. The only thing I don't like about this plastic is that when you roll the window up, it can go up. The film can drag it up. So we're gonna rinse down the bottom, and then we're gonna start pulling our film out. Now, at this point, we don't want it to get too crazy here, right? So you wanna hold it down, but it'll maybe trail up a little bit. Hold it away from the paneling. And then I like to rinse out those pinch points a little bit, especially because those are the worst for like pulling dirt back in. So sometimes you'll peel the plastic and then you sweep out the bottom, squeegee it down, and then you'll flush dirt, but I'm getting distracted. So here, I wanna explain this better. So like I said, you flush it out and it's sitting here like this. So we're gonna pull this back, usually at an angle, and then get that same flat spot on the film. And that's the key for me. Then we take our little nifty tucking tool here, and then you just glide it down, trying to keep it, you're like, trying to like sweep it down this way. So you keep a little tension down, but not too much that is crazy, and it just starts eking into the sides. And then same thing with this other side, and then we need to roll this bottom above our seal entirely, and then it makes it real easy to start like going across the whole thing. And then we pull back the seal and just kind of like use our finger, pull back the seal, tuck it all down together. And then that's pretty much it. That's it. It's just that easy. It's not just that easy. It can be that easy, but that takes a long time to get the hang of. A lot of practice. Because it's a lot of little subtle, like, you know, you gotta feel how much pressure you need to put, what your window is telling you a little bit, like how slippery the glass is. If it's sticking a lot, that's gonna make it harder for you. So there's a bunch of little factors that can make it crazy. Let's go ahead and wipe this off. Oh, that looks good. And then we can throw our garbage bag down there. We could dry them off and use them again if we want. Got them in a pack from Costco. Cut them in half to save even more money in the environment. What's that?
2 o'clock removal is here.
Oh, okay.
It's a windshield removal, because he's got a new chip on the windshield once you're done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead and pull it in. I'll get a steamer on it. We got a windshield removal to do very soon. So we got to get going on this back window, and then we'll do that. Do you guys dry shrink side windows on a Suburban? I'll wet shrink all the doors pretty much all the time. Let's see. It should be up front, I believe. Oh, you know what? I got it. I'm sorry. I stole it. Here you go. You're welcome. A6 says, wow, that helped. Still trying to learn how to tuck it in as quickly as possible, but it's hard getting the hang of it. Yeah, it's one of the most difficult parts of a door. You're gonna fight a lot with like the front edges because you just don't have a lot of room. You got so much room here, and then this comes down to a point, so everything bunches up together. You just don't have much room to fold the film. So, good luck. Panda, he says, is that Panda? Yeah, Panda Bear. Panda asks, how do you know how much to shift the sides? Usually it's about 1/4 of an inch. The best way to tell is to go on the inside of the glass and like look at your seals. That little bit of experience always comes with time, but general rule of thumb for me is these outside seals are really good guides. So like this one's a little bit wide, but a lot of domestic cars look like this. So I'll usually just pull it over to overlap just this rubber part, sometimes a little bit more. Doing it all the way might be a bit much, but you basically just want to keep in the 1/8 of an inch gap, or not gap, overlap on both sides. And depending on how tight the seals are, you could have a little bit more room to work with, or not that much room to work with at all. You just need to do enough to make sure it looks covered on the outside. That's the most important rule there. So I'm gonna put this up here. That film is also gonna be used for these little quarter windows right here as well. So this is a 36-inch roll, 20% that we're using on the back, Avery NR. And then I'm curious to see how this looks. What do we got over here? Oh, oh my God. Oh, that looks good. But they want it removed. Maybe they got a ticket for it. I gotta do that windshield removal. I'll get to it in just a little bit. Okay, can you shut the garage again? Thank you. It's cold today. It's like 50 or 40, like 45 to 50, man. This sucks. We're in cold season now. So this is a very easy back window to shrink too, which is one reason this car is so awesome. You got so much room on the inside to work with. You have a pretty flat surface to shrink. So it's just very nice all the way around. Let's see. Tint Depot, Matt, question mark. Yes, Tint Depot, they're a sponsor now. You can get your tools from them. They're actually, might appear like a Reeboxer, but they're actually a very, very legitimate company, I come to find out. So, yeah, have not recommended them in the past, not because I haven't paid attention much to them. But yeah, they are a sponsor now. And they're a really, really solid company. So if you want some good films, you can check them out. I mean, they straight up told me with a lot of with the economy film, don't expect that stuff to last more than a year. It's only got a year warranty on it. So if you guys want to get some training film, it's a good place to get it. They're very competitive on their pricing. And then up from there, you got one with a 5-year warranty. I wish I could speak more about where it comes from. I do know where it comes from, but they do not want me to say where it comes from. Well, they don't. It's not that they don't want me to. They want me to. There's just logistics in the way that prevents them from saying where it comes from, unfortunately. So it's like reverse Reeboxer, which is a difficult situation to be in. With because Tint Depot's not like a known film brand or anything like that, so it makes it more difficult to sell film, but good company for sure. And they're helping support the channel. I'm much appreciative for them for that. Good place to recommend tools. All the stuff that you guys see me use, you can find it there. Alright, so we're coming down to the final stretch on this one, and we'll chop it off and we'll install it. What's that? Allie, have you worked with their film? I only ask because I've purchased their film. Don't say where it comes from. I actually have used it before. It just never made a video. So, not because it was bad or anything like that. But, yeah, can't say where it comes from, unfortunately. Which immediately makes everybody run around trying to find out where it comes from, which is fine. Give them a call, ask them about it. But they have told me not to on stream. So that's just the logistics of that, unfortunately. So we gotta get another blade for this back window here. Jad Jaber. What slip solution do you recommend? For an official slip solution, either Tint Slime Ultra is really good. That's the orange stuff. I'm a big fan of that. And then for a secondary option, that's an official like window tint company one. There really are only a few. The Fusion All Type is really good too as well. It's a little bit more like Dawn to me, I guess. Tint Slime Orange seemed to like wipe down a little bit more cleaner and dry out maybe a little bit more faster. But right now I only have baby shampoo. So actually I have dollar store baby shampoo right now, which I think is the funnier thing. Cause you know me, I try all sorts of stuff now. And I came across what looked like Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo at the dollar store, like Sesame Street. And like Johnson & Johnson changed the recipe and raised their prices. So their stuff still works fine. But it's like, it's way more expensive now too. So I ended up just trying it out and it actually works really well. So you can get something that's just like Johnson for $1. They like, Johnson & Johnson went through like a whole brand reshape too with their baby shampoos. Like they raised the prices, changed the bottle sizes, and like tried to change the price with the bottle sizes, essentially, it looked like. I gotta take this off. This line. Da, da, da. Da. My favorite part. It all comes off together. Choop. Glass 8. I don't want to turn into product show. Oh, and what ratio? That's a good question. So that's always a hard one to kind of explain because weather conditions and this and that can be confusing. Like when it's colder, you don't need as much because it's all about just keeping the film damp enough or slick enough really to slide it around the glass. So if you're trying to shift it around and it's just like sticking really fast, then put more soap in your bottle. If it's sliding around all over the place and it doesn't tack up, like you squeegee it a couple times and it's still not tacking up, then you have too much soap in your bottle. So that's a way to gauge it. What I would say is how much I use. Usually like in just a spray bottle, probably like a couple teaspoons. In like a gallon, they say like 1 ounce per gallon. I'm usually a little bit more than that. So if you can measure ounces, fine, that's cool. I don't have anything to measure ounces at home right now. So I don't know, usually like 2 or 3 teaspoons per gallon essentially is what I would recommend. So in this is a 3-gallon tank, but we put about 2.5 gallons of water in there. So adjust accordingly. Just mess around with it, see what you like. Jimmy Tran, do you like Global QDP? Yes, I do actually. The only thing, I don't know why I come in strong liking something and then point out the one thing that I don't like. Global has a really solid film. There's a lot of people that like them. They've been around for a long time. Made out of India. Guari, good company. They got their shit down with dyeing film. Yeah, I like them. That's one of the few brands that I recommend, along with like Avery Dennison, because they just have a really good reputation and been around a long time. So, not a whole lot of performance, I think, but like if you want a solid color stable film, which if you're not going to get a lot of performance out of a dyed film anyway, yeah, they're really good. What I was getting to before is the one thing I don't like about Global is the glue that I encountered when I had to do a couple of removals. Not because of a film failure, but because the customer needed the front doors removed. And anytime I've had to remove Global, it just leaves like a sheet of glue on, and it's real thick. So I don't know if they've changed it since then, but yeah, that's been my encounter with them. Global's good. I'm just squeegeeing this off, give it 2, and then we'll see if the shortcut can help out. We're gonna sweep this off. That carpet deck lid, it's a little bit tight against those corners, but you have enough space to get like a conquistador or a bulldozer in there. So just be wary of that. Let's go ahead and peel. We're gonna just pick this up like a pizza. Okay, we're good. Let's toss that there. We're gonna pick this up. Sorry for me to like show this on camera, because you have to adjust it like 3 or 4 times while you're doing this, or have somebody hold it. and then we just carry it in. I do try and avoid the seat unless I get a towel, because again, it's a tan seat. It shows water the worst, like not stains, but just like the fact that it's wet. So I try and do what I can to minimize stuff like that. If you get another towel and put it down, you just start sliding the film down, pulling a little bit up. Keep that bottom edge flat. Like you see that whole bottom edge down there? If you can, it's all flat against the glass. And you just take it slowly. We do have, I'm noticing, this right here, this paneling is really tight here. So what I'm gonna do is wedge a stick in here, wedge the shank in, see if I can pull that down a little bit. There we go. And then tack that in. Sometimes the paneling will do that to you. It'll push in those bottom corners, so you gotta free it up. And the best way to do that for me is just put some pressure here and that'll loosen it up down there, because you're pulling the whole thing off. And as long as you can create a real small gap, then you can tuck it in, but don't press on the panel too much or else it'll pick that edge back up that you just tucked in. And suck a bunch of trash in. We don't like trash. Oh no, where's my phone? Did I cover? Oh, it's on the trunk. Somebody asked, do I ever turn down work for liability issues? I was almost going to turn down the Dodge Ram until we figured out exactly where the BCM is, like the 19s. Go watch that video if you haven't seen it. But for the most part, I don't turn anything down. I take a lot of stuff like kind of as a challenge. I don't really like challenges a whole lot, believe it or not, because I want most of my day-to-day to be pretty consistent. But every once in a while, I guess I do something a little bit out of the norm. Windshields are probably where you're going to run across the biggest issues, because there's a lot of electronics, a lot of modules, BCM, that type of stuff. So just have it roped off and toweled. But for the most part, no, I don't remember if I've ever had a particular job I've turned down because of a liability. There are a handful of things that I turned down because of difficulty, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, there's some people that like to take on absolutely everything, but for me, if it's not in my normal workflow, going above and beyond to learn it, sometimes I just don't feel like doing. I missed the name, but somebody just said that they avoid older pickups and stuff, older vehicles that require a lot of cleaning. He actually just said that he's got an older one right now, 91 pickup, but he charged extra for the cleaning. Yeah, I can respect that, because a lot of older vehicles can take a lot of additional time depending on how bad they are. So you have to charge accordingly. You know, unless you want to do the guy a solid or you don't mind it, or, you know, it's all what you feel like. But yeah, you know, if it's eating into your day and you have other clients lined up, then it's only fair to charge accordingly for the extra labor that goes into making one of those jobs look good. The shitty part is a lot of those cars have not been taken care of, and they just want a cheap tint shop or cheap tint job. So they don't necessarily always want to spend the extra money to get that kind of work done, but, you know, you also don't want to do it either necessarily. So that can sometimes be a win-win. Just kind of price things out of reach so you don't have to do it. I've got a little bit of a fold, just a slight one, like it's pressing against that panel I was talking about. So we gotta tuck that down. Kevin says, great job as always, Matt. I always learn a lot. Thank you. I'm glad. No peel board. Atomic Tint, Adam Green. No peel board, question mark. Nope. Never. Not never, but hardly ever. It's kind of ironic because I'm in a glass shop, but the car is always my peel board. There's a few things that I always see in the groups. One of them is people taking off paneling and stuff like that. That is just something I hardly ever do. It's not that I think that there's a ton wrong with it. It's just, I don't know. I learned how to do this without taking everything apart, so that's why I like to do it. The less things I have to take apart, the less hassle for me it is. So you just kind of get used to sucking film. Another thing is, you know, being at so many different types of places over the past handful of years, I'm jumping around from bay to bay. So I'm not always tinting in this spot. Sometimes I'm tinting over there, sometimes I'm tinting up there, sometimes I'll go up there and then I'll have to go back here. So peel boards for me would just be a big pain in the ass because I always got to move them. I mean, it's annoying enough moving 30 feet of hose with a spray tank and a couple of squeegees and some other stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just something I see a lot brought up. But yeah, I'll talk about it a bunch in the future, I'm sure too. But yeah, I don't know. The car's my peel board. Even in salty winter conditions, car's my peel board. And as long as you're not running a bunch of water down from the top edge, you're fine. As long as your airflow is down, for the most part, you're fine. There's a lot of not super clean conditions that you can tint in. I mean, having like a HEPA filter and all that is ideal, but yeah, they don't have that here. Somebody asked how often do I have to do warranty work? Hardly ever. And that comes along with a good film brand too. So if you're mobile, bouncing back and forth between a couple of places, it wouldn't necessarily be that bad if you had some warranty work to do. But if you were like running the houses and stuff like that, oh, that would suck, because they're pretty much one-off jobs, and then if they have a problem, you got to go back out to their house where they're not going to have another job for you to do. You got to go out of your way, set up just to take care of that one thing. Where's my little squeegee? No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. I wonder if I lost it. Sorry, I'm trying to find my little green squeegee. I think it fell out of my pouch. I need that. I like it. It's nifty. Yeah, oh, here we go. This little guy. This is just a cheap squeegee that I chopped down. It's really soft. This is those like cheap Chinese ones, but they're really soft, so they're great for quarter windows. But yeah, not much warranty work, and you know, if you just got to make sure the job's done right the first time. That's the main thing if you're going from house to house. But what I was kind of getting to as well with being mobile, or you know, running between a couple of shops, you just, I don't know. You want to, like, I always like setting things up so you have more work at the end of one job. So after this one, I got something else to do. I got to remove that windshield, and I think we got some other stuff lined up for the end of the day. So this is just a snippet of my day today. The rest of the week was rather slow, but today's kind of busy. So that's cool. Somebody asked how often or how long do I usually take per car? If I don't get too distracted with other things, like if I can stay off my phone, you know, because that's always a thing too, like keeping up with the channel and Instagram and whatnot. Usually about an hour and a half. I like to shoot for around there, and I can go faster if I need to. So a good busy day for me is about 5 full cars. After 5 full cars, I'm like, okay, I'm good. A nice, happy, consistent day, probably about 4, with a little bit of a break in there if it can, but I'll work through whatever, you know, from 9 a.m. to 5 or 6 p.m. just straight is sometimes what my days look like. And there'll be some, you know, if there's a couple doors to throw in there, like 5 full cars, maybe a couple doors. So I don't know, on like a really busy day, I'll pull about $1,000 gross out of here for myself. Sometimes a little bit more. On a regular day, probably about five, six out of this place. So that's before film cost. Film cost will usually be about 30 bucks a car. With the film that I'm using right now. So yeah, pretty good margins here. So, you know, you gotta hustle for some of it, but it's a good setup. Doo-doo. And we're gonna squeegee this, and that's gonna be, I don't know, we'll check it over, see if we need to touch anything up, and then we should be good. Hopefully the GoPro will run till the end. It should. What if I said GoPro stopped recording and it just stopped the live stream? Oh, that was dangerous. I don't think I have voice features enabled though. So there's that. So pretty much, did I take care of that little bit? Yes, I did. So that's good. I get distracted. So we're gonna wipe this down. I'm gonna close up all the doors, and then call it a day. It's probably where a bunch of people drop off right now. That's okay. I still gotta touch all this up. So all my scraps I usually put on top of the car. Oh, I just think oh, really? Oh, when the hell does that happen? I just cut my finger. I got a lovely tint paper cut from that. Fun, which never happens. It really doesn't. God damn. Oh. Yeah, that one's deep too. It almost looks like it was a razor blade, but there weren't any on top of the car, so fun. I gotta take care of that too, so. Dana Arena, thank you for tuning into the stream. I'm going to slowly pass out now. All right. Touch these up. Plastics away. And then I gotta take care of that windshield, so. I'm one-handed right now. I need something live and unedited. Let's use the blue. I don't want to ruin my yellow ones. Ugh. There we go. Let's see. Everybody's dropping out now. Thanks you guys for hanging out. Seeing if there's Atomic Tent said peel board on wheels. Sounds good, but then it's gotta, like, I'm not just at this place, so I'd have to make one for here, I'd have to make one for another one, and like, I don't know, like I said, peel boards really aren't that helpful to me because you can use the car as one, so they don't keep my work any cleaner. So I don't know, that's my thoughts on it. I think they're useful. I think they're nice for like keeping streaks off the paint and stuff like that. So I will have drips on the sides of the car and stuff like that. So that is a benefit to peel boards for sure. But yeah, they just really don't affect my day-to-day. And there's like another thing about the rolling ones. Like they're mostly clear right now, but there's lots of rubber strips and stuff like that. So I need big wheels on them too. Like, I have a rolling toolbox, and that's annoying enough to, like, push across here. It's got some caster wheels on it, and it always gets caught on, like, a chunk of glass or something, so. The less I gotta worry about, the better. We're all about streamlining here. Do you ever figure you'd be tinting for this long? How did you get into the industry? That's a good question. We might wrap up on that one. No, I didn't. I kind of just fell into it. My dad has an auto accessories company. and I was working there as a detailer while I was going to high school, and they did window tinting, but I was never interested in the window tinting aspect of it. It just made more money. I was just doing that while I was going to aviation mechanics school. So finished up aviation mechanics school, but in the meantime, the window tinter that was working at the time, he quit very, very suddenly over the weekend. So after that, he brought a guy in that taught me how to tint. So I owe a lot to that. Oh no, we don't want to lose the GoPro. Oh, I just bumped my head. We got a little bit to press out here. But yeah, that's how I kind of picked it up. And then I was fully planning on pursuing aviation mechanics, and then talked to a handful of guys that got laid off out of the blue, and that really scared me from corporations and stuff. So I wanted to take more control over my own life, basically. So window tinting is very independent. You can start up your own thing. You can tint for shops. You can go a lot of different places and pursue it. So I like it. And then plus YouTube became more of a thing, and then I just got creative with it. So that's where the channel came from. So I pretty much would get bored doing anything over time. But the fact that I get to be creative with window tint with video, to me, is a really, really fun side project for me. Keeps it interesting. Love the community. So, and with that, I think we're pretty much done. 53 still? What are y'all doing? This isn't entertainment. This is just, oh, see? Oh, there goes one. Oh, we gotta do the headrest. I forgot. See, you can see how quickly like the end can fall apart. Planned out the beginning very well, but now I'm doing a lot of pacing around, and I gotta do this, gotta do that. My fingers cut because of the tint. One of those tint cuts. So that makes it fun, especially with the, tan interior. We can't get anything on this. All right. TPN says, I want to see you remove the windshield tint. That's going to have to be another stream. I just have this one single battery in this GoPro, so that's why we got to cut it off early. But the gist of it is just taking a steamer to the inside of the glass, which I have a handful of videos on doing something like that. Just a regular basic steamer, like I usually use like a $50 shark steamer from like Walmart or whatnot. And then this, you can see, it looks good. So it was likely done recently, and they got a ticket for it. So it's not old purple or anything like that. So we're gonna go get started on that. But in the meantime, we're gonna have to sign off. Let me close this. Give you guys a good look at it. We did 20 on the back, 20 on the quarters, 20 on the back doors, and then we did 35 on the front sides. I also did do a strip right before we started though, but that's only because I didn't think we'd be quick enough. So, but with that, we're gonna go ahead and end things. Thanks you guys so much for watching. And once I get this all queued up, I'll end it. Once it loads. I gotta remote access my computer.